Well, hello, my Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Mercury Retrograde reading for this February into March 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and Pisces moon. So I can't help it. I always give a little bit more to my Pisces viewers because, hey, we got that soul bond thing going on, don't we just? Right, my Mer people? Mer. In case you are unaware, I do have my calendar here. Mercury Retrograde starts on February the 16th and goes all the way until March 9th, which is also the full moon in Virgo, its ruling sign. So I am also a Virgo. So this one looks to be a little kooky, wacky, crazy, which is why I'm doing these readings, and I'm actually borrowing from the Samhain Mercury Retrograde readings I did last year around Samhain Halloween time. Because I looked at the reading and I was like, you know what, that's going to be helpful. And being that it goes direct the day of full moon, there's just something there, right? That how we wax into that. So let's get this out of the way. If you are new to my channel, please do like and subscribe. As you can see, I'm the fun one on YouTube. So we're going to have fun with this. Mercury Retrograde being ruled by the planet Mercury as a Virgo. I got some insight we're going to play with, but please do keep in mind this is a general read, right? It's not going to fit everybody every time. I mean, take the info. It's a Mercury Retrograde reading, really. Anything that you have to rethink, revisit, review, rebirth, reunite, you kind of get the idea. Usually people know the standard stuff of don't sign contracts. Why? Because they need to go through extra review, right? No major life-changing decisions like life cares. What the planets are doing, keep in mind, a planet going retrograde is an optical illusion. It's not actually going backwards in the sky, which I think is very symbolic of the symbolism of really needing to look at things clearly during Mercury retrograde, because it's all thought-based, right? It's not actually going backwards, but we think it is. So it's almost like a lot of the crazy that I see people go through during a Mercury retrograde is mentally self-induced. So have a look at that, and that's what these readings are going to help with. Now, please do check your other signs. That's why I'm doing Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mercury signs. I almost said Venus, because that's usually the one I add on for the relationship stuff. But for a Mercury retrograde reading, go find your Mercury sign. Mine is conjunct with my Venus, so it's in Libra, but I know that's not the case with everybody. They're usually close together, but everything's got its orbit, right? Cool. This reading, really, this Mercury retrograde is about how is this happening for you, right? That's a way to look at it, because everybody's like, oh no, Mercury retrograde, gird your loins. I get it. But at the same time, right, everything in the quantum paradigm, according to unity consciousness, right, fifth dimensional and above, everything's happening for us here. So how is this Mercury retrograde happening for you? How is it a blessing rather than a curse, right? We always go in through the back door of the shadow, right? How it's horrible, oh my God. Back up everything and dig a hole and stay in it until it goes direct. Take the opportunity, even if it means an opportunity to just slow down, like meditation, contemplation, hypnosis, anything like that in the mental realm is just going to be easier now. Particularly, they just said, yeah, past life regression, right? Because you're going backwards in time. A lot of symbolism there. So let's get down to it. The last thing I always say before I do the reading is please breathe. But I'm going to give you a little something I learned from a Sufi master back in the 90s. Like there are 4 elements in the tarot, right? Fire, earth, air, water, and the pentacle, well, 5, spirit. Fire, earth, air, water. Each has a different breath pattern, because there are 4 different breath patterns. The breath pattern for water is in through the nose, out through the mouth. And if you do it, you'll notice. It's like being at the beach, right? The waves rolling in, rolling out, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. So I'm going to try and do that as we go through. It helps me stay in the present moment, help you stay in the present moment so that we can really get the most out of the reading, both verbally but also energetically. Remember, the words just float along the top of the energy anyway. Cool, cool. We are going to be doing a 5-card spread, the element spread, one of my personal favorites. 5 cards down with the Healing with the Angels Oracle. Yeah, no, sorry, they told me to switch that last night, right? Sorry, guys. That's the way I usually read it with clients. But on YouTube, we're doing tarot first, right. We're going to start with 5 Daughters of the Moon Tarot to the voices of the divine, including Hermes, who is literally right there. And I'm wearing his earrings, the 2 pentacles, the twins, because he sits in the throne of Gemini for me. So we're going to get 5 cards, Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit, the element spread. I'll explain that as we go. Then we're going to do the same with these to clarify for them, just like we did in the Path of True Love readings. I really enjoyed doing that with the Celtic Cross. The element spreads much quicker. Then, so that's 10, right? 5 and 5. Then we'll get 1 Chuck Spezzano Love Pack card. I'll explain that when we get there. That'll be the Voices of the Ascended Masters. The 1 Whisper of Love. We need the love, regardless of what planets doing what. Love is the answer. So from your higher self, a whisper of love. And, of course, because I dig these cards so fucking much, 1 Matt Kahn, the Healing Mantra deck card. Again, the Voices of the Ascended Masters. So you're getting angels, gods, goddesses, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Cool, cool. We ready to rock and roll? Let's take a nice deep breath. Still point. My gods and goddesses. Please, top 5 cards, element spread for this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury sign. For this Mercury retrograde, February into March 2020. There we are. Clicked into that coordinate. Please, Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit. Fire. Here, they're telling me to do it this way. We talked about this last night. Fire. What desires do they need to have another look at? Retrograde. Earth. What do they have right now that they need to take another look at? Air. What are they thinking that they need to take a look at? Water. What are they feeling that they need to take another look at? And Spirit. What is the point of view, the overview, the lens that they can re-look at all of this stuff with? Please. It's a lot. Only 5 cards, though, so please, my gods and goddesses, top 5 cards, element spread, Pisces collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury sign, Mercury retrograde, February to March 2020, please. Maiden, clean cut, please. Mother, hate, crone, maiden, mother, crone. Let's rock and roll. That was fun. All right, we'll get these down and I'll do the same shuffle with the angels rather than do them at the same time. Nice deep breath. Fire. What's the desire y'all need to, by the way, this is me on Pisces moon, that we need to look at? Interesting. So the element of fire, our choices, our will, our desire that we need to take another look at, interestingly enough, is the Ace of Flame. So a new opportunity of some kind, but one that has desire or something that we desire. Maybe it is that spark of the desire hasn't manifested itself completely. I love this card. I mean, it's the Ace of Wands in the traditional tarot, highly phallic. Rider-Waite deck. Pamela Coleman Smith. There's a nice knob on the top, isn't it? You can feel that. It's sort of phallic, sexual, creative impulse, right? In this deck creation. So we need to have another look at that. Now, if it's hitting us in the hornies, you know what I mean. Not repress it, but let's have another look at that. What is the air that feeds the fire? Which we'll get to that eventually, too. But our next card down is the element of earth. What do you need to look at that you already have? Because the earth element is sort of like, well, what do you got, right? What do you have usually to help you manifest your desire? This is why I use this particular spread for spell work. Spell check, I call it. So what's our element of earth here? Interestingly enough, another fire card. Now, this, however, is a court card. This would be mutable fire, Sagittarius. Ceridwen, Celtic goddess of transformation of the cauldron, right? A lot of cauldron stuff going there, a lot of stir in the pot, so it were. but also a blending, a mixing, that Jupiterian, expansive, Sagittarian wildfire energy, right? That immutable fire, like flaming arrows, the archer. So what you have right now is the desire for change. You have that thing of wanting mutable fire. I want this and I want that and I want this and I want that and I want this, right? That fire almost out of control. And yet, what is more retrograde than an archer pulling back an arrow on the bow and waiting, right? So here's the retrograde, but what happens once it's set free? Goes much further and much faster than if you had just thrown it, right? So so have another look at that. Have a look at the power, the dynamics, the expansion of what you want, because there's nothing wrong with what you want. It's never about that. We have every right to want everything that we want, but it might be like, pull back. Look at your desire, and I keep hearing, look at the air, the thought that you're feeding your desire. In other words, sometimes we can overthink about it so much that that delicate, tender flame goes out, right? And other times it's a coal that's slowly going out, and we need to breathe on it. So it's all about thought. Are we being too light, too soft, too much, too intense, more general, too specific, not specific enough? You got me. Well, so let's look at your element of air. Let's see if that gives us an indication, right? A third fire card and yet another court card. So right now I'm going to say there are people involved. Look, one court card down for a 5-card spread is one thing. You get more than one, then you're like, there are people involved here. So do take a look to, yeah, if there's a Sagittarian, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, Venus, Pluto, who the hell cares? Great, then yeah, they're probably indicated here. But more if this is a person, or maybe this is, because it's the Earth position, this is an aspect of yourself, something that you have, is that gregarious, even spirituality, 9th house, friendly, expansive, right? Jupiterian, cool, 9th house vibe. Then here is the Leo card in the element of air, which I'm really getting is more about creativity, good fortune, like creative thinking, right? Thinking about this desire. Now, the thing about fixed fire, the fixed fire of Leo, here we have Chantico, right? A goddess who is baking, right? Baking stuff, cakes, bread, makes the dough, the batter, all of that, puts it together, then places it in the oven where it has to sit and wait while it transforms by the power of fire. Fixed fire, right? An oven. Something creative, something is being created, totally element of fire. But in the mental position, I'm getting it's that wait part. Really like pull back, look at this, contemplate this more. Maybe not overthink it, pick it apart, look for what's wrong necessarily, but that breathe into it. Yes, maybe mantras and affirmations and visualizations and all that stuff, but that's really to get your energy in line, not necessarily to make something happen, at least not anymore. The fifth dimension point of view on all this stuff is that, honey, it's all scripted in the quantum. You just need to kind of chill, right? Or in this case, yes, of course, use your creativity, use your desire, use your element of fire. It is a transforming thing, but let it transform your mind, perhaps transform the way you are seeing and thinking about. Maybe your desires in general, maybe one in potential specifically, because it is an ace, but that it is one that feels probably really good in your body or is inspired, because it's that Sagittarian, like, ooh, I really want that, I really want that, an expansive thing. Maybe it's a seed that could grow into an entire forest, so to speak. Feels exciting. Remember, we got angel cards going down after this. What's your element of water? You need to look at your emotions. What are the emotions? Well, there you go. 8 of Cups, withdrawal, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, retrograde, 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 pull back emotionally. Do not broadcast your feelings right now. I'm not saying lie, deceive, don't be authentic, but you can say to someone, yeah, I'm going through something right now, not really ready to talk about it. I'll let you know, though, I'll be fine. And if you're not fine, then by all means, fucking ask for help. But here, in this Eight of Pentacles, though in other decks, like the Rider-Waite, it's walking away from the cups, this is walking actually toward the cups. She's following them cup at a time, spilled or upright, in to the cave. She took a boat to get there, by the way. It's not an easy journey. So whatever got her, it's like, okay, I need to get the fuck away from you all for a little bit, at least emotionally, to feel this out as well as think this out. To allow the emotions, just, I heard this from Matt Kahn the other day. Really, follow him. He's got great stuff. This is a little audio clip Hay House put out. That feeling our emotions is our most important spiritual practice. And as a Pisces moon, I was like, thank you. Like, isn't that enough? Like, isn't it enough that I am processing and feeling emotions, not just myself, but for everyone in a fucking 100-mile radius? It feels like some days, oh yeah, you got to see me in Stop and Shop, feeling everybody's everything. But, got my sunglasses on, cruising through Pentacles up, right? Too fucking funny. All right, so let's look now at your top card, Spirit. Now, this is the lens. This is like, okay, try and see it from this point of view. Like, you're going to retrograde, you're going to pull back, you're going to try and see it from this point of view. Beautiful, the moon, right? But you don't need to understand it. You don't need to understand it. You just need to feel it. The emotional stuff, you don't need to understand it, nor do you need to act on it right away. You just need to feel it. You don't need to, that's the thing. And Matt Kahn said this too in the audio. It's like the ego wants to dissect what the emotion is about so that it can get out of it faster, and that's not the point. The point is to let it have its emotional arc. It's like inner child work. You can't talk a tantruming 5-year-old. Maybe you can if you got cookies, but you cannot talk an infant out of its crying tirade, its tantrum, if it's hungry, if it's not feeling well. I love you. Please stop crying. I love you. It's just, I love you. I love you. I love you. You don't have to understand why you're feeling what you're feeling. But I think with this element of desire, it is saying pull back and look at all of this, but more from a place of how does it feel. This is Piscean. We're talking the Pisces here. Because the mind is mechanistic. It can come up with 6 reasons to stay, 6 reasons to go. My brain, you've got to let me know. Should I stay or should I go? Well, darling, is 6 of one, half dozen of the other, right? This is not that. This is go with the moon, go with the goddess, feel it out. Don't gotta act on it. It's a retrograde. Don't act on it unless it's really like the soul is saying it's time. And remember, things are going to happen. Yes, with communications. Yes, with gadgets and trinkets and things of that nature, all that Mercury stuff. But if you can kind of relax into this place of somehow this is all happening for me, let it ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. Really, really good. Let's clarify with the angels. I love this. Breathe. I love it so much. I'm speeding up. We can take our time. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Still point. My angels, please. Top 5 cards. Element spread. Please clarify what the gods have already given your angelic point of view for this Piscean collective. Sun, moon, rising, Mercury signs during this Mercury retrograde, February to March 2020. What do they need to look at? What is the Mercury retro for them? Please, your angelic guidance and grace. Top 5 cards, element spread. That was quick. Maiden, mother, crown. Love it, love it, love it. All right, we're going to start with this Ace of Flames. We said, have a look at, right? What do you need to look at? What do you need to retro, revisit, rethink, refeel? Now we know, right? This initial desire, this spark of flame. Oh, because it's got a divine timing thing in it. So it might, if there's impatience there, no, it's like, okay, it's a divine timing thing. I can't speed it up. I can't slow it down. It's written. The timing of it coming in, it's written. And right now it's just a seed. So, whew, yeah, this makes more sense. Pull back a little emotionally, or if you're going to feel the impatience of it, but don't act on it, right? I've been saying to people a lot lately, you can know what I'm going through, you don't have to witness it. Don't have to make it so visible in the world, because with social media, people are like, live streaming every time they fart. It's a bit much, right? You can keep some of this stuff to yourself, people. It's called having a personal life. And you're allowed to on the spiritual path. So then let's have a look at the Sagittarian. Now, just holding the card, I can feel that as well as that. Right? So this could be you because it's the position of Earth. This could be somebody else that is inspiring you. Oh my God, that's the word, inspiring. Sagittarian expansion, whether or not they are actually Sagittarian, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, whatever. What do the angels have to say about that? Oh, music. That the inspiration might very well be coming from music, and it's making you expand. Inspiration like respiration. Expanding the ribcage. Oh, that feels good. I've really been into breath work lately. So much so that my ribs are like, what the fuck? Yeah, I need to get a massage. By the way, if there are any LMTs local that want to exchange, I'm always down for a kneading, for a reading. So this expansion, that music, like listen to music, that's what you have. That, you know, it happens for me a lot, particularly in the car with the radio on, because I have playlists that I listen to around the house. Very rarely is it random, but on the radio it's random, right? Where the song that pops up is either exactly what I'm thinking about, an answer, a clue, a tip, a hint. That can be very much a Mercury retrograde experience. So pay attention to the music that might fan the flames of your heart and your desire. Great fun. Because moving into the element of air, we've got this Leo card, another fire card. Angels, see, there is a new beginning. You've been thinking about a new beginning, and there's the ace right there. But it is an ace in what? Divine timing. So if you are sort of I'll use an image from the 80s, grinding your bicuspids to a fine dust with impatience waiting for something, it's very cocaine, then, you know, chill, let it bake. You don't want hot batter, you want cake. With the rhyming already, first reading. Okay, here we go. I know what I'm doing today. This, apparently. Lots of coffee, lots of meditation, lots of breath work. Element of water, 8 of Cups, pulling back, withdrawal into and to connect with your own nature. By all means. I'm thinking of doing a lecture called Fifth Dimensional Witchcraft, because I think there's a reason why, in general, witches, pagans, but, you know, anybody is drawn into nature, because nature's already in fifth dimensional unity consciousness, right? It has no ego to fight what is. It simply is what is, right? And that's why we are so drawn, that Mother Earth recharges our heart, right? So get into nature. Now, where I am, it's cold, but I will bundle up and go for a walk if I gotta. I also have, oh, my orchids are over there. I move them into the sunlight. People have said, how come those plants are in the back for some of the readings, not the other? Because it's sunny. I have them in the window, right? But at night, they go there. But that's what I mean. Like, I prey on them. I've got crystals fucking everywhere. Plus, I live with my cats that are fifth dimensional geniuses, my boys. You get it? Putting you in touch not just with nature, but your own true emotional nature. And if your emotional nature is one that wants what it wants and it's freaking out, think of that as the child of your heart, the inner child. Nurture and love your inner child, because particularly with Yemaya, the moon, in the position of spirit with focus, it's saying focus on your emotions, darling, the waxing and the waning. Be the divine mother of your own heart, regardless of your gender. Hold that child. Here's the thing about inner child work. You don't pick up a literal crying baby, right? You fed it, you changed it, you did everything you're supposed to do physically. Not that I never changed a diaper. So you got this baby, fuck you, it's like, it's okay, honey, I love you. Oh, and you do love the baby, but after 10 minutes it's still crying. You don't go, oh, fuck this kid, I can't, I just, no. It's not about making it go away. It's about allowing it to have its full arc. You with me? Yeah, I don't have kids. And my cats get over shit quickly. Because we're a happy family here. All 4 of us. Cool. Very, very interesting read here. Focus on the moon, right? Go with the moon, and, which, by the way, is also kind of saying you might want to keep an eye on the signs of the moon as they change from day to day, void of course and stuff like that. because it's good. Particularly, I get this new beginning thing you want. So the impatience, right? It's like your energy gets tight. It's going to come when it comes. So you want to remain tight like that, you can. That's shark. Or you can shift to dolphin. Let's just breathe. Let's blow water out of our hole. I don't know. It's a horrible metaphor. Let's ask the Ascended Masters while the day is still young for a whisper of, not a whisper of love, from the Love Pack, Chuck Spezzano's Love Pack. Now, there are 4 suits in this. Half the deck is the suit of the problem, which is good for a Mercury retrograde thing. It's like, here's the problem you want to take a look at, right? Rethink, hold off on, right? But the other half of the deck is the suit of luck, the suit of healing, and the suit of grace, which give you something to focus on, perhaps to help guide you through Mercury retrograde, obviously. Nice deep breath. My Ascended Masters, please, just one card for this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Mercury sign, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury sign. I'm sure I'm not the only reader doing that. For this Mercury retrograde, February to March 2020, please, one whisper, a whisper of love, one from the Love Pack, a piece of the problem, a piece of luck, a piece of healing, or a piece of grace. And you get a piece of luck. Delight. Because truth is in the heart. Delight. Let this be a key word for you. From the Ascended Masters is like, this could be delightful if you play the game, which is going back to a point I made before even cards hit the table. Everything's always happening for you. Maybe this retrograde is the opportunity to really delight in whatever happens during this divine timing and say, I don't know, I'm going to sit back and watch the movie. I'm going to sit back, I'm going to pull back, I'm going to deal with my emotions, maybe get into nature, maybe deal with my own emotional nature here, but that I do not have to make this an ass grind 24/7. Well, 24/7 for 3 weeks. It's like, I think 3 weeks in a day, almost exactly this Mercury retrograde. So that's lovely. That's a lovely, lovely card to have there. Delight from the Ascended Masters. Let's pull one from your higher self. Nice deep breath. Our higher selves. Still point. Oh, I love you, my higher self. I love you. The higher selves of all involved, please, just one card, a whisper of love for this Piscean collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury sign for this Mercury retrograde, February to March 2020. Please, what's a whisper of love, a piece of your higher self guidance and grace for us, please? Actions. Actions speak loudly. Express your love through your actions. Now, by the way, that does not mean necessarily standing under somebody's window with a boombox playing Peter Gabriel. Although, if anybody ever did that for me, I think I would cry myself into a higher dimension. It's such a sweet moment. And that millennials, they're... Never mind. Actions speak loudly, but you don't have... It does not have to be grandiose, right? It does not have to be, the circus necessarily. Actions speak loudly really can be those things of just like texting somebody, but to show you care, right? Express your love through your actions. Now, of course, during a retrograde, it's that thing of hold back, hold back, hold back, hold back, rethink, in your case, refeel, but then maybe showing those actions to yourself, right? A retrograde, a rebirthing, right? A re-loving of self, a turning of that love that you constantly may put out into the world, right? Feeling everybody's everything, being compassionate elders, last sign of the zodiac that we are, sort of rerouting some of that. It's like, I'm going to do some self-care. I am going to make my actions speak loudly for myself, particularly because we do have this Nine of Cups in your emotional position. However, emerging from that, and perhaps as you go, there's nothing like showing that you love, but be appropriate about it. Remember, the emotions may be in sway. There might be some impatience here, and really it's not a gift if it's bait. If it has a hook in it, in other words, it's not really a loving action if you're expecting something in return. So outflow, even anonymously. Well, and they are saying prayer and blessings is an action as well. Though more yin than yang, it does flow out from you. Yin, and that's a bit hidden. Yeah. Okay. Last card down. Healing mantra. Matt Kahn, voice of the Ascended Masters. We're double dipping with the Ascended Masters. They don't mind, particularly for retrogrades. They gave me the spread, I think, overall, where it was a collaboration between my pantheons. One side of the card, if you're new to this, is the mantra itself. They're in English. It's put out by Hay House. Not that they don't do international stuff, but the version I got's in English. The other side of the card is the name of the mantra, so that you can remember the name of the mantra, but also that I can look it up in the little bookie book, which is very helpful and very brief. Nice deep breath, please. Oh, that feels good. One more, please. Still point. Oh, my Ascended Masters, I love you so much. Please, please, it's a very emotional reading. Very heart-centered. Please, my Ascended Masters, what is the perfect healing mantra for this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury signs for this Mercury retrograde? I know, it's me too. For this Mercury retrograde, February to March 2020, please. We got some interesting stuff on the table here, but nothing that seems horrific. Only one major arcana card, the moon. We've got delight. We've got actions speak loudly. Some emotional pulling back into nature, right? But new beginnings and divine timing. So what is the perfect healing mantra for this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury sign, this Mercury retrograde, February, March 2020? I got this one today. This is my card for today. Excellent. I pull one a day or so. Welcoming surrender. Welcoming surrender, right? Because surrender, Pisceans can be very good at surrender. We can be like, all right, right? Waterbed, wake me up before you go. But, there is in this definitely an element of surrender, of pulling back, right? Both in that new beginning with the mind, retrograde in general, right? Like pull back, surrender your point of view, surrender your sense of the timing, surrender your impatience, but that doesn't mean don't feel it, as well as to surrender to the divine plan that says, okay, whatever. The mantra itself, there is no problem, only destiny being revealed. There is no problem, only destiny being revealed. 8 words, there is no problem, only destiny being revealed. That's how I remember them. I remember the number. There is no problem, only destiny being revealed. Let's get you the little bookie book take on this. Here we go. Welcoming surrender. There is no problem, only destiny being revealed. Duh. When surrender is welcomed, you are open to viewing life as the playground of the soul's evolution. You are no longer worrying about what to do or where to go. Instead, you are following the gentle, peaceful flow of inner guidance. In surrender, every personal conflict is handed over to Source, so as not to distract from the prime objective of evolving your consciousness with the utmost sincerity, love, and compassion for all. So even if there are conflicts that are coming up, it's okay for you to go, all right, angels, I'm handing this over. Ready? You might have to listen to this a few times. Most of us know I let go and let God, AA, 12 steps. Try this one. I let go and let God, I let go and let Goddess receive all energies that I have created. I release them to the will of the greater power of love. I accept that everything is becoming fully balanced in its own time and place. And I accept that there is a divine plan unfolding in my life in the now. Right? Or you could just say, there is no problem, only destiny being revealed. Last little bit here. This mantra is ideal for eliminating resistance, dealing with anger, and easing and overthinking. Creative mind, particularly the creative part I threw in because of this Leo here. Cool, cool, cool. Brief overview with a magic clap. We start you off with the element of fire down in the lower right-hand corner here with divine timing with that one of flames. There is a new beginning. There's something that you really want, but you really need to look at it in terms of divine timing if you are feeling a little crunchy, time crunchy, or impatient. What you have to help you with this retrograde is that Sagittarius energy to kind of feel the desires, keep the feelings going, but with music of some kind, which of course, if you are a songwriter or a lyricist, that's a wonderful way to express that sort of stuff, actually bringing it into the physical dimension that way, but also to hear it through music, feel it through music, pay attention to music, dance it if you have to give it some kind of expression, because it is a divine timing thing, rather to tune into the passion and the mutable desire, meaning the different levels of how much you want it, than stay stuck in impatience. Because in the element of air, which is, Mercury is about air, it's all about thought and looking at things and thinking about things. This new beginning has the Leo card on here, so we're really looking at the creativity of fixed fire. You have to let it bake. Yeah, you're right, like nobody needs a half-baked idea. Well, let the idea continue to bake. It is still in its infancy, in its seed state. Hence, emotionally, we jump over to water here with that card of withdrawal and nature. And to withdraw into nature, I mean, that's a little on the nose, but I don't feel that's far off. I mean, even to withdraw into your own emotional nature, to just feel, to go into the cave willingly, deliberately, from the point of view and focus of the moon, that card of spirit, to really see it through the lens of the intuition, of the guidance, of the grace, but that it is internal, that there may be some waxing and waning of your own emotions, but I would focus as well on the moon, keep an eye on the phases, what sign the moon is in from day to day, because it does change every 2 days or so, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on void of course. And particularly during void of courses, you might want to take that time really to rest. Welcoming surrender, affirming, making the mantra for yourself, there is no problem, only destiny being revealed. So there we have it, my fishies, my Piscean family, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury signs. Really, really lovely read. Nothing gigantic, nothing feeling traumatic. That's going to change throughout the collective, I'm sure. But you know that at least this new beginning, whatever it is, with this card of delight and actions speak loudly, you'll be able to get your point of across in a delightful way. Cool, cool, cool. Thank you so much. May the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury signs be blessed with all that they need this Mercury retrograde, that it may be a delight, that their actions speak loudly, and that they really get there's no problem, only destiny being revealed for the well-being of all. And so it is. I love you all so much. Please do like and subscribe. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers so that I can do that super live chat stuff. Cool, cool. But for now, wishing you the very best and the very blessed. Also, I'll be working on the full moon to new moon reads too, so that'll be interesting. It'll be interesting next week or so. So I'm going to try and get as much done before Mercury goes retrograde. Otherwise, wishing you the very best and the very blessed as I sign off. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.